not a Monday and a Tuesday. So, all right, so today's our first. Thank you. Today's our first combined Granite Way PD faculty meeting. Said first Tuesday we go half an hour faculty meeting and then Granite Way PD information. We don't have a lot of Granite Way PD information because the first Granite Way training is actually tomorrow, so we're still going to count that as a Granite Way. Yes, we will. And we'll move to the agenda pretty quickly. So, the first part, let's welcome Mr. Sandra. You're going to introduce Andrew. Andrew!
And so, everybody say hi, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. All right, Andrew comes to us from the great state of New York, Saratoga Springs specifically. He's a geologist by trade. And he has now joined the Earth Science team, and we are thrilled, Michelle and I are thrilled to have him in our larger science PLC. Give it up for Andrew Sterritt.
Anything you want to share with us?
I just love it here. It's only my second day teaching on my own, but I really appreciate all the support that you guys are giving me. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go over norms. We are thoughtful by beginning and ending on time, honoring confidentiality, empowered by contributing to discussions, accepting diverse perspectives, connected by maintaining a positive attitude, and engaging meaningfully with others. Okay, thank you. With that, we will go to our first item, which is the caption contest.
All right. Yes. So those that are new, we like to do caption contest. Send out a picture before each faculty meeting. Send in a caption. We get many responses. I thank you for that. If there's a general theme to many of them, I usually just select one, so we're not putting all of them up here. But anyway, get a lot of responses, and I appreciate that. And Mr. Sandrock, do you want to explain what's really happening in this?
No, sir, not at all. Thank you very much.
All right.
Let people live in their ignorance.
You know, he was worried enough about it that he called me in to make sure it wasn't something he shouldn't show.
Yeah.
Funny, you didn't check in with me.
Your face isn't visible, so plausible deniability.
Calm over isn't.
Some late entries into the All right. All right. Do you want me to polish the other shoe? That was a general theme of joke, is the shoe polish contraption. We're not there, right, Mr. Chandra? Not a shoe polish contraption. All right. I'm working a shoe shine machine that doubles as a sundial. Halfway there.
It's about the sun.
Okay. This is almost as exciting as playing, developing, and designing video games, which Mr. McCarl does. These are your fourth pair of elf shoes. I know. I see an elf shoe in there. Does it come in Granger red? No. And by the way, thank you, Mr. Losi, for taking this picture and sending my way. So
thank you for sharing that information.
Now we know what Ford does in his spare time.
I still can't believe you spent all your legislative money on this thing. How much would one of these run us, Mr. Sandlon?
I couldn't tell you, sir. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, how far back does this go and when did we get it?
It was about $250, I think, and it was about 6 years ago.
It's a way of looking at the sun without going blind.
There we go.
With the whole class looking, they can all see.
All right. You're 100% positive this thing will grow back some of my hair? Yes, you are. All right. So they actually have watches now that can tell you the time. Prince Charming finally finds Cinderella, and dang, was she ugly. I only included this because this is actually Mr. McCarro's intro. And the winner, the thing is, when you get real important, your Rolodex gets real big. All right, thank you, Mr. Timothy. Yeah, all right. Thank you, everyone.
That was terrible. Mr. Sandra?
I will get even. Okay, folks, especially the 20 or so new teachers on board, welcome, welcome. There's something we do in the mail room up there. On the board in the back is what's called shout-outs. And we try to kind of give each other props for the amazing things we do in support of each other. Yes, it's all about the students, but how cool is it when somebody on our own team reaches out, or you've got a question and someone bends over backwards and helps you with that answer. So, we've got some cool swag here, some cool G-socks. We'll give those out in just 2 seconds. I'm going to pull 2 of these at random. And not just the person who's being honored, but the person who took the time to write something down. Thank you for that. You're going to get one of these cool things too. So, I'm going to pick up the front row. Pick a card, any card. Not that one. Oh, I'm kidding. Go ahead. All right. Our first winner, Candace Green, Melissa Cosgrove. Come on down. Okay. Candace is giving, Melissa is giving props to Candace for getting granola bars for her students. Yes, rewards are important. Ladies, you rock. Good job. Five's right here. Nicely done. Give it up. Give it up. And one more. All right. Thank you, sir. Mackenzie Gilson and Jenna Timpson. Come on down. For being a true friend, for making me laugh. I am glad you're at Granger. You're in the right spot. When you fit in, right, you are making someone's life better. I think that's something we can all celebrate right there.
She said it to me.
Okay, I'm back.
Change the slide, please.
Frozen.
Change the channel. Catch up.
So for our Super Lancer Teacher Award, this is from Sarah Thomas. She delivered this. She was our last recipient. So she has this right up. We do have 2 of these. And the best way to retain it, if you ever should receive it, is to be sick the day of faculty meeting. Because Miss Clooney gets to be it for another month, because she didn't bring me a ride. My first year at Granger, I was drowning. I think this is figurative. I was a newer teacher and still under the impression I had to grade every single assignment, quiz, and test. You could not find me behind the piles of papers I had to go through until the teacher across the hall walked over and demanded a stack of papers he could grade for me. And then he told me to take a walk around the school and get some lunch. Opie saved me that day and many more times throughout the next 5 years. Opie and I became friends by talking in the hallway between classes. On particularly stressful days, that consistent contact with another adult was what got me through the end of the day. Opie also taught me about setting and holding work-life boundaries, how to work like crazy for our kids, getting to know them, and how to support them and caring about their lives, and then going home to our families without letting school take over. I especially appreciate the lesson about boundaries as I move into administration. Opie, thank you from Sarah Thomas. I have to be here to win, so. The alternative.
Leo and Timpus.
Mr. Beck was the alternative.
Does anybody know where Sarah went?
Eisenhower.
Okay, we had 4 winners for our basketball basketball, football competition. So our experts, our football experts, who picked the right team and picked the right score. 4 of them did that. I had one person tell me, you know, I've never wanted a team to score the 2 extra points so bad in my life before. Because that would have put them in the, that was Mr. Hughes, that would have put them in the winning toe. So, our winners, our expert football picks were Lisa Brown, Tyler Luis, Kim Summers, and Allison Galarraza. Come down for your tickets. All right. Oh, yeah, he was down here for that. You want to talk about that in a minute? All right. Any other recognitions or celebrations? Made it to 2 weeks. We've had 2 great weeks. Yep. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the next part of it. Mr. McCarl, you're going to talk about if they want to make announcements on the common area monitors.
Okay, so everybody knows that we have the 2 big monitors there in the cafeteria commons area, right? On the shared drive, there is now a folder with some templates that just have a Lancer logo and blank area on 4 different colors so that you can make something easily. That way, you don't have to remember what the size is. It's 1080p for anybody who cares, 1920 by 1080. But if you make something for your club or for your team or for whatever, even just to celebrate students who did something cool in your class, you can send it to me and we'll put it on the mix and run it through. I'm not the world's best email recipient, so if it's really important, call my extension because I have a phone. Dr. Dunn. Yeah. So, but we'll be adding some more things for sports. If you want something for a club or something, you need help making it, talk to me. I'm a pushover. So, what folder? I don't remember. How's that for an answer? It's called like common area. I don't remember, and I don't have a. There you go. Shared. That one shared, and then common area announcement templates. And if you make a cool announcement template, add it to that folder so other people can use it too. So there's like a red, a blue, a black, and a white.
That picture of Sandra up in there.
They're all the same.
Who said that? Who said that? Let us stand.
Great. Okay, thank you. Okay, Faculty Morale Committee. This is part of the task force. We put it up here as an announcement. You want to share what's going on with that?
Did Opie talk about it to anyone else about talking?
Nope.
Okay.
Mr. Tiger said.
Oh.
He came in and asked me to.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so everybody could have probably seen this, right?
Yeah.
Faculty softball and barbecue. So even if you don't want to play, come eat. We're going to start at 2:45 to 4. So that means that gives you a really good opportunity to fill that gap between the end of the school day and when all the festivities for homecoming start. So come out, play ball, have some food, we're going to have hot dogs and brats, range chips, a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Can I add something? Some of you may have had somebody come around and talk to you, or you've received an email from Morale Committee wanting to know like what kind of snack you like or what kind of drink you like. If you could please return those emails, that would be great. We want to hit everybody's birthday this year. Please, if you had a birthday in the summer or in August that got missed, we're going to be doing half birthdays. So we want to try and make sure that we get to everybody.
Thank you. Michelle, AC.
Okay, we made it through the first 2 weeks. I'm still vertical. So are you. Okay, so just a few things. For those of you who have tried, okay, so if Chromebooks absolutely will not connect, one of the things you can try is wiping them. I sent really poor instructions last week. Will you please destroy those? And I will send new ones today, okay? I know these work, and I actually, just so you know, these are much better. But a couple things that you need to be aware of. Make sure that if you do this, your kids cannot re-enroll. So if they get to, so what happens is you're going to wipe them, you go through the process, and then it will come up to the enterprise enrollment. At that point, they cannot do anything else for you. That makes sense? It has to be a teacher in order to enroll. So just know that if you do a whole entire class at the same time, you'll have a whole entire class that you need to re-enroll. Okay? But this does, most of the time, a lot of the time, fix the enrollment issue that it won't connect to a network. So ones and twosies here and there, oftentimes if you send them to me, I do that, and then you know, by the way, I have a big stack. So if you've sent me stuff recently, please come by and see it's about this time. See if your stuff is done. Okay? Questions about wiping Chromebooks. You would do that if they will not connect to the network. Okay? Okay. Now, the next thing that I'm seeing a lot is our kids' passwords are expiring right now. And so are ours, by the way. Don't ignore that, or you'll have to come see it. Good luck catching it. Okay, so when you guys are really good to reset passwords, but this causes a problem. When you go to reset the password, if the student has an expired password, this box automatically checks itself. And it wants the kid to then change their password, which is a nightmare on the Chromebooks. It just doesn't work. And they don't know what their old password was, and they don't have a new one in. And if you change it, they really don't know what the old one is, right? So make sure you uncheck that box if you change a password. Anytime you change a password, look at that box, okay? Because then what they'll come up and they'll say, well, it wants my old password, okay? So if it does that, first of all, just have them shut it down and turn it back on. It shouldn't ask them for an old password if you've changed it right. If it does, just tell them that they forgot their password and continue. They're not going to lose anything. This is a great big warning. You're going to lose all your work. Oh, no, they're not going to. Okay? Does that make sense? Has anyone seen that? Okay? A lot of times, a reboot will take care of it. And in fact, your fourth period or your last period of the day, you should have them all power them down because they don't get turned off and on very often. I think they're happier when they do. Okay, Land School Dynamic Class List. I will send out the instructions again how to use the Land School Dynamic Class List. The important thing is you've got to dismiss your classes, because if you are a teacher who restricts your classes as to what they can see, math people.
There's the two of us that forgot to dismiss.
You're not alone. You're not alone. But if you forget to dismiss your class, then the kid goes to English and they can't do their English assignment because they are locked out and you're at lunch and I can't find you. Happened twice, just in the last month. So poor kids are just like, I don't know what to do. I can't do anything for them.
If you go to dismiss, but it's not, you can't click it, does that mean all your students have been dismissed?
No, you have to dismiss your class.
I know I'm saying, like, if you think you have, you go back in, and if you can't click it.
And if all of that is mumbo jumbo, come and see me if you want to know what that all means, okay? Yes?
If I load the dynamic, right, will it still in other people's classes?
Not if they're loaded in their
They're
class.
stuck.
So they can't be voted into two classes.
No. I hope that Land School fixes that issue, but currently you must dismiss your class. I think what happens is we don't dismiss our class and we go to lunch. And we're not loading a new class, so we don't think about it. But
Part of it, if they're having a hard time for some reason they can't get to a website, but they're not still locked in another one, then you have to load your dynamic list so that your protocols take over.
yes, yeah. Sometimes I'll load a sometimes I'll load a list of kids who just aren't on a channel anywhere, and I'll get a message from some kid that says, "Quit blocking my YouTube." And I say to them, tell your teacher to load their dynamic class list and you won't be on my channel anymore.
Which one is your channel? Is it number 1 or number?
You can't, it's everything. Everything that's out there that's not pulled into somebody else's. I have not touched it this year, by the way. I probably won't for some time. I don't have time for such things.
Michelle, one more thing on that. Sometimes kids are on your channel, not in your dynamic class. If they're in your channel and you load a dynamic class and then limit the web, all those kids that even aren't in your dynamic class will be limited as well. So I've had that experience several times. So if there's anybody in there before you load your dynamic class, change all their channels out of your class before you load your dynamic class.
If you can't change their channels.
Have them log off and log back on. If they log off and they log back on, then they'll catch it. Okay, the other thing, this is the happiness moment. I know there's a lot of frustration out there on the Chromebooks, but this is a happiness thing. All of you have an Adobe Creative Cloud license, thank you. And you can put it on 2 machines, okay? So this will tell you how you get in there. So there's a button on your desktop that says Adobe Creative Cloud. You click on that, this comes up. Put in your, and I've got instructions, I'm sending them to you, okay? But you'll put in your email address at your graniteschools.org email address, okay? And your password. And it will come up to this, actually, put the email address here, then it's going to bring up this screen. It doesn't even let you put your password on. You must choose Enterprise ID. It's the one it's not personal, it's an Enterprise ID, okay? Then it will ask you to put your email address and your password in again. Once you do that, then it will load this page. This is actually a big long one, but you know, go that way. So, in order to install, yes.
Go back to the other page. You can do it quicker by just clicking sign in with an enterprise ID down below sign.
You can click right here and you'll.
Yeah, if you click that.
Then you don't have to do this.
Yeah, you only put your email in once.
You guys teach me all kinds of things. Okay, so it'll come up like this. This will be the page it'll show. I think it shows stock. But if you click on apps, then you're going to see all the Adobe apps. You have access to all of them. Okay? Don't just install them to install them, okay? Because it'll just muck down. Yes, it includes the fonts also. So, yes, yes.
You can do it on your phone or your tablet.
Your phone, your tablet, your whatever. So you just, all you have to do is click install, give it some time, it will install it, and you're good to go. Is that awesome? Yeah. So, once again, I'm going to send you instructions on wiping your Chromebooks. I'm going to send you instructions on this one. And what was the third thing I was going to send you instructions on? Oh.
Access prevention.
No. Well, it won't help you. Okay.
Hey, Michelle.
Yes.
I want to tell you, there's a program called Illustrator Draw on iPad or your Android tablet.
Yep.
It basically takes somebody who doesn't have any drawing talent and makes it look like they do.
Not true.
Well, better than they could without.
He always has real talent.
No, but Illustrator's kind of complex to use. But Draw, you just draw with your finger and it turns it into vector artwork for you. So it's really slick.
There's actually some really cool stuff. And so that Adobe DC is your Adobe Acrobat that allows you to create notable forms and all of that jazz. So, or if you ever want to edit an Adobe PDF.
Students have access to this as well,
Yes,
right?
students also have access.
Okay, and at home and at
Yes.
school, correct?
Actually, students have 5
5
licenses.
devices.
They take turns in different though, it's their student number at Granger.
Now, what it does though, so if you're on your computer here at school, you put it on your phone, but then you want to put it on your computer at home, you may, but you have to, it will make you log out of Adobe Creative Cloud off one of the other.
Not on the phone. The phone has unlimited license.
Well, there you go. But so, like you just say, okay, log off of this one, and it will log you off and let you on the new one. Any other questions for me?
Yes.
Yes.
Benchmarks, I have kids that say they're being kicked out, like the screen freezes, they can't get into it. And they say it's happening in other classes too, like mine's not the only one. I go on and it says they're in process.
So you have to go back into School City and reactivate them.
They say it's they're in progress, so I inactivate them and reactivate them.
Yeah, they can just put, you just put
No,
on
you don't need to
the.
inactivate it, you can just activate it.
You may have to just, yeah, just activate. Unfortunately, the network's up and down.
It stays where they're at.
Yeah, it does say we're done.
Thank you, Michelle.
A big hearty congratulations for the first 2 weeks of school. That's a big milestone. Good job, everyone. Let's see. Alan Kendall. I don't believe you've been introduced to the entire faculty yet. Stand up. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm the new Spanish teacher. I worked last year in Granite. I'm from Chile, Castro. At the end of the G fold, you can find any help with Spanish. Yeah.
Bienvenidos. Thanks for being here. Thank you. And then, Ms. Alejo, would you mind introducing your
Absolutely.
student
I would
teacher real
love
quick, just so
to.
people recognize her? She can stand up too. Please stand.
This is Karen Chun. She's a student teacher from BYU, and she's fantastic. So, yay! Keep an eye on her.
All right. Standing outside your classrooms as students are in the hallways. Thank you so much. Those of you who are doing that, I like that Ms. Thomas mentioned that one of the ways she became close friends with Opie and had that good friendship was by standing outside their classrooms and chatting. So it's a great opportunity to be out there. A few clarifications. On there it says attendance. So let me just speak briefly about attendance. One of the emails that was sent out erroneously said that teachers are not to change attendance marks for students. That is true if the note comes from the attendance office. If, for example, another teacher writes, hey, this student's late, and they send it to you and you've marked the student late, feel free to change that. Or if it comes from an administrator or a counseling center or something like that. The only ones that you don't have to change are the ones that come from the attendance office because she has corrected it in the attendance system before she has sent the student to your class, or will do so. Let's see, another thing that may have gotten lost in the email, but just as we were looking for school security, you're well aware of vape pens and their prevalence in schools. It seems like every news station wants to do an article about it, and they're all over. In any case, one of the best ways that we ask, as you feel comfortable, we're not asking you to use the restrooms if you don't feel comfortable using student restrooms, but just walking in and washing your hands. It's a nice way that students know adults will be coming in and out, and that's where we often have smoke alarm set off or smoking habits. So in any case, please feel free to just step in. As you're walking down the hallways, it's a great idea in flu season, in schools, because you get sick all the time anyways, just to, as you walk by, wash your hands as you walk by a student restroom. This is another reminder, if they're not on your rolls, they're not in your class. Do not harbor these students, send them down to the counseling center. Our counselor's done an amazing job and have finished 99% of the changes. The only ones that are left really are teacher referrals
and some ESL, so there's still some ESL needs that need to be met. And then additionally, last thing, our punitive measures of OCR and tickets started today. So you will see students with tickets coming to the class if they're more than 10 minutes late. And additionally, 9th and 10th grade pure classes. So for example, if you teach art and you have 9 through 12, you're not sending down your 9th and 10th graders, but in the pure classes of 9th and 10th graders where that can be managed easier, please send those students to OCR. Additionally, if you have students that are in those art classes that continually take advantage, or whatever class might be, of your good-naturedness to let them come in, please feel free to notify us as we work with those students. But by and large, we've got great kids, great kids, and I've noticed really good kids this year, so it's been a lot of fun to see them, and a lot of our students who've had trouble making choices in the past are doing really good and maturing and everything. So anyways, thank you so much for all your hard work, and that's it. Thank you.
Our first PPG training will be Wednesday, September 25th. So mark your calendars. We're going to focus on core teachers. We will have, the title of it will be PPG and Assessments. Good news, it's optional. It's also paid. Unfortunately, it is the day after teacher-parent conferences. So you'll kind of all be settled into this is your second home, perhaps, get some extra caffeine, but you will have the opportunity to spend some time learning how to convert the from PPG grading or the traditional grading to the PPG. And we will have you sign up so that we can give you some extra information on what to expect and what we need you to bring. For example, you'll want to be ready to have your proficiency skills and have teachable concepts that you're going to be working with in your PLC, etc. Any questions?
Did you say what time it was?
2:30 to 4 on the 25th.
All right, with that, let's go into information from our Granite Way PD. We've had a couple of our task forces. You know what? You want to talk about, Tilly? You want to talk about task forces?
Sure. I don't think we send out the slide to be shown, but we have several of our task force that are working really hard, doing research on many of their topics so that they can present to us in future meetings, and PDs so that we can get their information. We have task forces that are working on initiatives that they want to bring to the faculty that they've been observing at other schools. We have task forces that are getting the ball rolling and starting and working together to initiate their task force meetings and get them working together. Can you remember anything else that was on that slide? Thank you. We have so many task forces doing so many good things of research to make us the best place we can get with their help. So, good job, task forces.
Part of that is, and just